Hi, so I'm Kathleen, and I'm a third year law student, and I was a teacher previously. And now I am also an LSAT tutor. So I help students, especially those who learn in a different way, to break down the LSAT into clear, teachable strategies. So in today's video, we're going to discuss how to stay motivated when the LSAT prep feels overwhelming. And I think it's a space we all get to at some point. So, anyways, let's dive in. So LSAT prep isn't just about logical reasoning and reading comp. It's about managing stress, energy, and motivation. And the important part to realize is developing the right studying skills and tools at this point will set you up better for success in law school. So here's how to keep going when it feels like it's too much. This is exactly what my brain feels like sometimes. It's a little picture on this. So let's look at what the problem is so we can figure out what the solution is. So the problem with the burnout is it comes from studying long hours, losing your confidence after having bad scores or repetitively getting the wrong answer on the same question. And also, I think a big part is feeling compared to others. We think that the score on the LSAT is a reflection of someone's suitability to become an attorney, or maybe it reflects better their intelligence. And that is actually not the case. The LSAT is really a way of, you just need to learn the right tools and strategies. And these are actually good tools and strategies you will continue to use in law school. It's really just about becoming an efficient reader and having the mindset that you need to apply in this specific analytical way. It's much different than your undergrad. And I think that's where people get stuck, is it's a different way of thinking, and that's what we're going to teach you. So the problem isn't that you're not, all those negative mindset pieces that you're thinking right now, like I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not cut out for this. Those are all false. So the first thing you need to do to set aside your overwhelm is to know, no, this is a completely learnable test, and we're here to do that. The long study hours part, that's not an impactful thing either. We find that just does exactly, causes burnout. Instead, it's about consistent, small studying over a longer period of time. And I think the confidence part, just teaching yourself how to be confident in your wins and realize that even the questions you get wrong offer you something to learn from. And that's how we're going to build you a place where you get the score that you want and you feel better about this test. Okay, so the strategy, break it down. So we're going to use micro goals, such as 10 logical reasoning questions, there's that snuck in there, one game, there's no more logical games, but one logical reasoning uh, and one reading comp passage, sorry. Track your progress daily and celebrate your check marks, not just your scores. So celebrate your studying blocks. Celebrate the fact that you did an answer and you broke it down and put it into your mistake journal and walked through the change that you would have made. Small wins, which will build into your momentum, are important. Okay, strategy two is your daily routine. So this is super important, and I try to explain it to people like going to the gym. We all know if we go to the gym one day and train for 2 hours, we're not going to be instantly in shape. But we know if we go every day or 3 or 4 days a week and we train for 30 minutes, we know that over time, with that consistency, we see the results. The LSAT is the same. It's the same as training for a marathon, and law school is a marathon. So think of it this way, this time you're putting into investing into getting ready for this test, it's not only going to give you a better score, which is going to give you better scholarships and access to better schools, it's also going to make you more prepared for law school because a lot of it in law school is about reading and analyzing and knowing what theory to apply to that information. So, study time and place each day is important. Using smaller blocks of time, 25-minute focus time, 5-minute break time, and pairing habits such as like you're going to have a coffee, maybe that's your reward after you do a reading comp passage. So we're building routines into it so that every day or specific days of the week, you're doing 30 minutes to an hour of studying instead of these long marathon, exhausting studying sessions. You're better able to build the blocks and be more successful with several small study times than with a long marathon-like studying. That just is exhausting and you don't retain as much of that. Okay, so reframing mistakes. I love this. Failure is the stepping stone to success. And you're one failure away from your success, right? So if we don't try and we don't, then we definitely won't get there. But if you get it wrong and you try it again, then the next time will be the time that it works right for you. So just remember that. And in LSAT studying, you're getting a question wrong should not be something you think is, devastating. Instead, it's a chance for you to dig in and assess and put it through your mistake journal and track that progress. So, you're going to see, and something that we talk about in the tutoring class is you're going to see that typically your answer choices, there is always four of them. Two will be obviously wrong. And two will be there where you're like, which one is the best one? There's always one there to kind of fake you out. So you're really getting down to deciding between those two. So when you have a question that you didn't get right, this is a chance to really take it apart and analyze where you made the decision that took you towards the question that was almost the right one, but not. And then you're able to see and identify those patterns. And that's where we're able to focus on patterns. So, as this says, I don't want you to think about your mistakes. Your mindset on the LSAT is so important. So, don't think about your mistakes as a negative. Think about those as an opportunity to turn them into a space where you figure out how to fix it the next time. So, every wrong answer is actually a free lesson. Focus on the pattern, not on perfection. So, strategy four is your accountability piece. So, you can find a buddy either in person or online. You can also, one of the things we offer through our tutoring class or the LSAT class that we offer through Link is that each week we send out and email you a package for you to work on that week. And you can email back in questions and email back in answers for, you know, um, some feedback. And then we also have a class hours or office hours that you can jump into and have that as an accountability piece as well. So that kind of helps you to stay on track when each week you're getting a package specifically for you to work on and you are submitting back those emails, kind of keeping things in check and making sure you're on the right track. The other thing you can do is to study alongside someone, even if they're an online person. And we do have that accountability piece through our Facebook group as well. So I think sharing your goals and your struggles often helps. Just make sure you're sharing them with someone who's kind of in the same mindset as you and learning kind of in the same way. But I think an accountability piece is definitely important. Motivation anchors. So these are the reasons why you want law school and post them somewhere inside your binder, your study binder, your notebook, around your computer, on your screen. What is the reason why you want to get into law school? Why does this LSAT matter to you? And then visualize your end goal. So you're sitting in your law school classroom, and I'll tell you, I did that through the LSAT. I visualized myself in law school, and now as I'm in law school, I visualize myself walking across that stage, picking up my doctorate, and I even visualize myself passing the bar. So I definitely think that these inspirational moments that become your constant anchors or motivation are another important thing to keep the overwhelmed piece away. So, energy management is so important. So, outside of studying, and this is a skill you're going to have to really keep yourself accountable for in order to survive law school. Law school is difficult. So, this is kind of your mini training. You want to stay on top of your sleep. You want to stay on top of your hydration, working out, movement. Those things help you with your studying. So schedule those in. You want to swap out these marathon cramming for short, consistent sessions. You want to make sure you always give yourself enough time, almost too much time to review. And you also need to schedule a complete rest day per week. So every week you need one day where you're not going to think about the LSAT or law school, whatever, you one day where you just set aside and kind of catch your breath. And you want to do this consistently. So if you're consistently giving yourself 30 minutes to an hour every day to study for the LSAT and taking that one day off, you will see that these skills and tools that we're teaching you, you will build on those far more successful than if you're trying to cram it into a 12-hour study day. So we really recommend that consistency is important and building that schedule now will only benefit you as you move into law school. Okay, So I'm not sure this is really your homework, but it's definitely something to note. You don't need perfection to be successful in this. You need to stay consistent and motivated. Let go of any negative mindset that tells you that this is not where you belong. It is absolutely where you belong. Give yourself grace and credit for the courage it takes to do this and keep going. My LSAT course builds structure and accountability and strategies to keep you going. The link is in the description for you. So if this tip helped you, I'd love for you to join me for more. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next LSAT strategy, and check out the free study notes and resources that I've put together for you in the links. So it's a full study package. It's 40 some pages. It goes over both reading comp and a logical reasoning, a little bit around the writing portion. It helps you to know the main topics, and that's a free resource that we share with you. Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you again.